The day will come when we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names. It's a long list already.
I don't get paid to be nice. I don't get paid, I'm not your counselor. I'm the guy that goes out and kicks ass for you and gets you checks like that.
We have a big hearing coming up in Sean Combs' criminal case. So what can we expect? What has been happening? Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to dive into some of the recent updates in the case.
Now we're the biggest and we're the baddest and we're just floating around looking for something to eat.
Our team has had at this point more than 3,285 individuals contact us.
In a shocking twist, top-tier attorney Tony Busby has suddenly pulled out of the high-profile lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs. After it was revealed, he failed to disclose his ineligibility to practice law in the Southern District of New York. With Busby stepping down, many are now questioning, is this a major win for Diddy? At the same time, Diddy's legal mess keeps getting worse as reports surface that both his defense team and crisis managers are quietly abandoning ship. As this courtroom chaos intensifies, what does this major shakeup mean for the case? Is Diddy starting to regain control, or is this just another messy chapter in his legal nightmare? Here's everything we know so far.
Other celebrities are implicated in the Diddy case. Some of their names may be revealed by the attorney representing more than 100 accusers today.
We spoke to him on TMZ Live, and he said that
A lot of people allowed it to go on, said nothing, didn't intervene, maybe benefited from it, profited from it. All of these individuals and entities, in my view, have exposure here.
he's actually sent demand letters saying this is what we know you're involved in.
He's saying involved in the sense that,
And now it just feels like a money grab.
On the other side, they call it legalized extortion.
If these celebrities were at that party, saw bad things happening, didn't say anything, they get what's coming to them.
what?
Because they should have spoke up.
We have an obligation to rat out everybody we know when they do bad things?
If you don't stop them, are you responsible?
I feel like you should.
If they didn't drug somebody or participate in that, he feels like they're liable to a point where they should pay up.
In a shocking turn of events, renowned Houston attorney Tony Busby has pulled out of a major lawsuit against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs after failing to reveal that he's not authorized to practice law in the Southern District of New York.
Busby is the attorney who was coming after Jay-Z and Diddy over this sexual assault lawsuit, right? And obviously, that didn't go in his favor. But now, he has filed over a dozen cases against Diddy in New York City. So the thing is that according to reports, he can no longer practice law in the Southern District of New York. So this includes New York, Bronx, Westchester, Rockland, it just keeps going, right? The 5 boroughs of New York City. And so now I'm like, all of those lawsuits are donezo. I think they have to find a new representation because he can no longer litigate those cases.
This disclosure has generated a great deal of discussion, with some referring to it as one of the most shameful legal errors in modern history. The decision could affect how the case develops and poses serious doubts about Busby's reliability.
And I think there's all these small details that, things he failed to apply for, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, he gets the biggest button.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
And well deserved too.
And don't forget, it sounds like Jay is it sounds like Jay is coming to tap those pockets too.
Absolutely. He's not letting this go. Absolutely. So yeah.
After representing more than 120 plaintiffs who accused Combs of wrongdoing, Busby was required by a federal judge to provide an explanation for his failure to report his ineligibility to practice law in the district. Busby, who was forced to resign, acknowledged that he had made a mistake of judgment and said that his involvement had become a distraction.
So basically, Busby was not allowed to practice in the Southern District of New York, and Jay-Z started this whole firestorm and told the people, the powers that be, that he's not allowed to practice. And so now he withdrew himself from the case, and people are scolding him, the powers that be, like, hey, why did we not know about this? And he said it was an error of judgment. He's trying to blame it on an error of judgment and also saying he's being attacked by famous people, right?
Yeah, he said that famous opponents are targeting him. And so that's his explanation
And
for
just so
all
you
of
know,
this.
Busby represents 100 different accusers in this Diddy case. So now we're at a point where all these accusers are now attached to what is becoming his public legacy.
Honestly, we talked about this though, right? We said it. We're like, he's not going to let this go.
No.
He's going to fight to clear his name, and then he's going to come after him. And that's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, and as he should. As he should. But it is a congrats, because Tony Busby also represents some people who actually really are victims. And now he's completely sullied all that. Maybe he already was a bad guy, but this was a huge botch.
He promised the public that while he tried to improve his legal situation, the matter would be taken over by another law firm.
What I think it happens with accusers is that sometimes it gets lost in the shuffle of whatever's happening. So if he's in some drama, now everyone's story is looking like a false story because it's attached to Busby. And so smartly, he wants the case to go on with different representation, and he's going to try to join back in when and if he can.
Now, can Diddy potentially walk free because of this? Is there potential for that? Because these are technicalities. It's not necessarily, because I think also publicly people are going to now doubt these accusers because a lawyer of what he did, knowing that he wasn't able to practice in the Southern District of New York Federal Court.
Combs is still incarcerated in Brooklyn on major racketeering and conspiracy charges, and this latest issue adds to his already unstable condition. His legal issues are becoming worse, and now it seems like his own defense team is breaking down. A number of Diddy's lawyers have resigned or separated from the lawsuit in recent weeks. Others allegedly became irritated with the growing accusations and the public scrutiny around the troubled music entrepreneur, while others allegedly claimed conflicts of interest.
They are going to try Diddy's team from Diddy's vision is they're going to try to get the case thrown out, jury issues or whatever. Diddy doesn't want to face the actual trial, and he's hoping to not even get to trial, which is just nuts. Like, it's just, and also too, what I'm hearing is that he feels like the trial is going to expose too much about him. But Diddy, I mean, gosh, like, what are we going to find out in the trial that we haven't found out already? But I mean, maybe it does get worse if that is possible. But anyways,
according to insiders, Diddy's crisis management team has also left SHIP, which has further exacerbated the chaos. The PR strategists were allegedly overtaken by the sheer number of accusations and the changing legal environment after being assigned the responsibility of managing the media narrative and damage management.
Sean Diddy Combs could be fighting for his life amid federal and trafficking crime charges. And it doesn't help that during all of this, his longtime publicist has quit him. Now Diddy is looking into a new crisis management PR team ASAP.
Without a strong crisis response staff, their departure begs the issue of how Combs can handle the upcoming legal storm.
Why did the publicist drop him? And do you think he'll have a hard time finding a new team right now?
Good. Having worked with him for more than 2 decades, let me explain exactly why his publicist dropped him. I know this woman fairly well, and I gave her a call and a text on Thursday saying, hey, I have a narrative here that Diddy has been searching for a crisis management public relations team for over 6 months, since last year, right virtually immediately following the resolution of Cassie's charges, and she did not get back for me. She says she has quit next thing you know. So here's the deal. One of the reasons she quit, I am sure, is that what is she gonna do in this situation? But it's a hard issue to fix. The %. But furthermore, the crisis management PR people who he has been reaching out to charge at minimum $30 a month, nowhere near what he was paying his long-standing PR person. So it's a little bit of like, hey, thanks for nothing. At the same time, Busby's sudden exit has raised serious questions about his legal ethics. Although he's licensed with both the New York State Bar and Texas State Bar, practicing in federal district court demands extra qualifications. Rather than securing the proper clearance, Busby allegedly tried to sidestep the rules by linking up with a firm that had the right credentials, yet kept filing documents under his own name. That risky move backfired, leading the judge to toss out his filings and leaving both the court and his clients doubting his professional judgment.
Attorney Tony Busby withdraws from lawsuits against Diddy after failing to disclose his inability to practice law in the Southern District of New York.
This might be the biggest fall from grace from a lawyer ever. The embarrassment that Tony Busby is ridiculous. Now, y'all know I've been trying to give you guys a break from all the Diddy fatigue, and because we're about to get almost a dose of it every day come in May when the trial starts. But I have to tell you guys about this. And also to a couple of people in the comment section were like, no, he does have his license and he will be able to practice. Jay-Z's lying. Jay-Z paid them off. Now, I'm not saying Jay-Z is guilty or innocent or whatever. All I'm saying is that the facts are the facts. And I told you guys that he wasn't going to be able to practice. So
Critics claim that Busby's goals may have skewed his judgment. With the high-profile nature of the Diddy case, the attorney seemed eager to fully embrace the public attention around the allegations, conducting press conferences and making grandiose statements about bringing justice to the victims. However, this legal error now overshadows his trustworthiness, creating concerns about his genuine objectives. Was he in it for justice or the limelight?
one of the biggest lawyers in the United States, and I know not to do that, and I would know how to do it. How come you not? Like, I just feel like he had to have been smart enough to navigate through this, but I think he was just so overwhelmed with the popularity and so, it's pretty ironic, but so caught up with the fame he was getting and the attention. I think that he thought he would be able to skate through the small things. And it's ironic that he is the one who wants to take down the big names and the celebrities.
Once a titan of the music business, Holmes is currently embroiled in a number of legal disputes. Although the civil cases against him are still pending, the case may change course if a key lawyer like Busby leaves.
Plaintiff will continue to be represented by the remaining counsel of the record, the Curtis Law, as I sort these issues out. And just like we saw when Diddy's lawyer quit, this is something that is filed in a motion and the judge does have to accept it, but normally it's something they will accept because the case has a right to be heard legally in the court of law. Now we know in one of his 22 cases filed in the Southern District of New York, Tony Busby did apply for pro hac fiche, but the other cases I have checked and there is no different movement. He hasn't dropped out yet, nor has he applied pro hac fiche. A lot of people were worried that these Diddy cases might have been dismissed in their entirety because of Tony Busby's big mistake. This isn't a little mistake. This is something that he honestly should have known better, but I knew that these cases weren't going to get totally dismissed.
Even while his plaintiffs will continue to be represented, the change in legal representation could change their approach and slow down the case.
In my opinion, I think Tony Busby did the right thing by dropping out of this case and saying, hey, this is about the plaintiff. I did wrong. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. So let me drop out completely and we'll let the other law firm that is registered in the Southern District of New York handle it. So a lot of these other Diddy cases are probably going to move exactly like this, and they're not going to get dismissed because Tony Busby wasn't registered in the Southern District of New York. Now, was this wrong? Yes, it was. But does this mean these victims are never going to get their day in court with Diddy? No. You can almost guarantee that Diddy is probably not happy about this. He was probably praying that this little slip up was going to have all of these 22 cases in the Southern District of New York dismissed against him.
In addition to the legal drama, Combs' hitherto devoted supporters in the entertainment sector are allegedly turning against him. According to reports, a number of well-known people have severed their connections, and some significant companies have discreetly withdrawn from prior alliances. The public's opinion of Combs is changing quickly. Furthermore, the harm to his reputation can be irreparable in the absence of a clear crisis management plan.
So, Paula, we've all been talking about this week, on air, off air. Where are his friends? Even Jay-Z is staying silent.
All right, so people who read my newsletter will know that I have been on this for months, basically saying, where are they? And a lot of people are saying, you know, a lot of these guys, his friends, and I use that term very loosely because you find out who your friends are when the chips are down, and he ain't got none.
As the legal chaos intensifies, all eyes are now locked on May 12th. The date Combs' federal trial officially kicks off. With serious criminal charges on the table, the risks are far greater than any civil case he's faced before. This high-stakes courtroom battle won't just decide Combs' future, but could also change everything for those stepping forward as his alleged victims.
Remember, we are soon nearing Combs' May 5th trial date, believe it or not. Unbelievable. I didn't think that that was going to happen. And recall, this is a trial where he will face charges of racketeering conspiracy, trafficking by force, fraud or coercion, transportation narrage to engage in prostitution. That's a key accusation we'll speak about in a minute. But in anticipation of that hearing Friday, here are some things that you should know, maybe what we should expect. We don't know for sure, but this is possible what is going to be addressed on Friday. Now, first up, we believe that Sean Combs is going to be officially arraigned on the second superseding indictment at this conference. Now, most likely, he will be advised of his rights. The charges most likely will enter a plea.
There is no denying that Busby's legal error has permanently damaged his image, demonstrating that even the most accomplished attorneys may make mistakes that define their careers.
Prior to his legal career, Busby actually was a member of the Marine Corps. He ultimately became a recon Marine officer, which is a pretty elite role in the military. Safe to say that that experience likely shaped him into the man he is today and really allowed him to build the mental toughness and strategic mindset to lead him into his very successful legal career. So after serving in the Marines, he attended the University of Houston Law Center, where he quickly built a reputation as one of the up-and-coming sharp legal minds in the Houston area.
With his legal team changing, his crisis managers leaving, and a public curious to see how justice will be served, Diddy's path forward appears to be becoming more perilous. This legal battle is far from done, though. The real fireworks will start on May 12th, when Diddy's federal trial begins. No amount of PR spin or legal wrangling can save him if he is found guilty.
Trial is very close. It's very soon to happen. What are both sides doing in these final days for preparation?
So we know on Friday that the court date for the trial got moved back from May 5th to May 12th, just 1 week. They're going to be getting opening statements. But we also know that on April 15th, the witness list, which includes the alleged victims, will be released. And from there, we're going to see both sides feverishly working to do what's called motions in limine, trying to get the judge to agree what should come in and what should not come in, what comments can be made and what comments cannot be made of the defendant or the witnesses, and how basically the courtroom will operate as this case progresses through trial.
One thing is evident for the time being. The case has been rocked by Busby's abrupt departure. It's unclear, though, if this is Diddy's real victory or only the quiet before a much larger storm. Keep an eye out. That concludes the video for today. Make sure to hit the notification bell, like, and subscribe. We appreciate your time and hope to see you at the next one.